Yep. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. And we got the win, y'all. We got another win. You know, I'm feeling real good right now. I'm liking how the team is looking. So, without further ado, man, let's just get into it, man. I'm gonna start with the things I didn't like about the game. Although we won, with every game, there's gonna be things that we as Wizards fans aren't gonna like. They're gonna need to do better. You know what I mean? But overall, they still played a good game. But let's start with the things I didn't like. And the biggest thing that stood out to me was the bad shooting. Like, we didn't shoot the ball well tonight as a team. And Bill as an individual, he didn't play well at all. And that's another thing I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get back into that. But we didn't shoot the ball well in a lot of spurts of the game. We had good spurts, of course, because we won the game. But we need to shoot better. And then speaking of shooting, our free throw shooting was terrible tonight. I mean, we could have won that game by way more than we did if we shot the ball better. I mean, the free throw better. You know what I mean? Too many players that we depend on to make free throws were missing free throws. Maybe it's the beginning of the season. I don't know what it is, but they need to step that up. You know what I mean? Bill, like I said, struggled throughout the game. Throughout the game, he struggled. But to his credit, he came up with some big plays towards the end. But overall, he struggled. He hasn't had a good game yet. I don't think he's going to be a scoring leader contender this year. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to be that because he's not playing well as of yet. But just watching him get familiar with the team, getting more comfortable with the team, and seeing what he has around him, I think as time goes on, he's going to get better. But tonight, he didn't have it. I didn't like in the first half, Schroeder and Horford were keeping him in the game. And Schroeder, throughout the game, played well. I think Horford died down in the second half, but overall, they were doing way too much. We kept Brown in check, and we kept Tatum in check, except in the third quarter. You know what I mean? And I definitely didn't like that. We let him score 16 points in the third. Without him, and without Schroeder and Horford keeping them in the game, we would have blew them out. You know what I mean? I've been hearing that the Celtics are I'm not sure. Some outlets say that they're one of the better teams in the East. And not to say they're garbage, because they're all right. But honestly, watching us versus them with the players that we lost, Gafford tonight, Netos didn't play. He's hurt. We still haven't got Thomas Bryant or Rui back. I think our team as a whole is better than the Celtics. You know what I mean? If you ask my humble opinion. Just watching it, yeah, I think they got two real good players, of course, with Tatum and Brown, but they're not like, they're not like KD or something. You know what I mean? They're good players, but they didn't bring it tonight, especially Brown, and I think a lot of it was because of what we did tonight. So I had to point that out. The third quarter, man, I didn't like the third quarter. I just mentioned Tatum scoring in the third. We lost a lot of focus. Overall, we played some great defense, intense defense. But in the third quarter, I felt like we lost focus. I think part of it was because, Gafford being hurt, we were short a center. You know what I mean? So we had Bertans playing the 5 at times tonight. And I think that contributed to some of the reasons we struggled on defense, especially in the third quarter. And we turned the ball over way too much in the third quarter. We were up double digits, but we turned the ball over and we let them back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, we closed it out when we needed to, but we turned the ball over too much and we need to calm that down. We need to cut that out. You know what I mean? But for the most part, that's all the things that I disliked tonight. You know what I'm saying? These are things that they can work on, get better. Defensive rotations, free throw shooting. You're going to have bad nights shooting in the NBA, so I'm not going to fault them too much. They got the win, and that's all that really mattered at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to the things that I did like tonight, because there were a lot of things I liked, man. We played very well throughout the game. The first thing I wanted to mention was starting out the game, first quarter. We went down 6 points. But once we went down, we came back from the timeout and we clamped down in the first quarter, and we ended up having a 24-19 lead at the first quarter. We held the Celtics under 20 points in the first quarter, although we didn't start well. So that was very impressive. We never did anything. I don't recall. I'm not going to say never. Let me rephrase that. I don't recall the Wizards doing that at any time last year, holding a team like the Celtics to 19 points in the first quarter. It was a very impressive way to start the game. I like Kuzma's activity early. He didn't have a good night shooting the ball, but he made a lot of plays. He was active. He made a lot of rebounds, good passing, played great defense. I just like Kuzma's energy. We got pros. We got a nice team, and that's what I wanted to mention next. Tonight showed the depth of our team. We have depth. You know what I'm saying? Again, we didn't have Neto, so he brought in Holiday. He got more minutes. He played very well. Quality depth, you know what I mean? And I was asking, maybe like in the first game, you know, when Thomas Bryant got back, how would the three-man center rotation work? However, when we saw Gafford get hurt, Bryant is out, we only had one center. So we went from that being a strength to a weakness with just an injury, you know what I mean? So for us to step up, Bertans held his own, held his own in a way, you know what I'm saying? We showed our depth tonight. You know what I mean? I like Kesper. We put him in at times. He played well, made some nice passes, made some good plays. Just looked mature out there. Didn't try to do too much, but did a lot of good things. And I just like what we did. I just like our team. I just like the depth of our team, man. That's going to take us a long way this season, I believe. We got to give a big shout out again to Montrezl Harrell. I should have started with I'm not sure if I should say the things, save the best for last, or start with what I like first. So I'm just going to say, put it in the middle. But I think the MVP of the game again was Montrezl Harrell, man. When he went out the game, that's when they made their run. When he got back in the game, that's when we made our run and we closed the game out, man. He was a big factor. Scored double digits fast when he got in the game. Had a double-double off the bench. You know what I mean? He just played a very good game tonight, man. And I really love his intensity. I love what he brings to the team. It's like, hot and cold. We got Beal, more reserved, more quiet, leads by example. Then we got Montrezl Harrell on the other end of the spectrum, the vocal leader, the one pushing the guys with his voice, screaming, dunking hard just to get the team hyped. You know what I mean? Just doing the things that we need. I just like that leadership dynamic. Not everything's on Beal. You know what I mean? It's a good dynamic, man. I really like that. I mean, he had 24 and 11 with 2 blocks. You know what I mean? And he missed. He could have had another dunk, but when he went up, the ball slipped out of his hand. You know what I mean? But he had a great game. So I just wanted to mention that. We had a slow start on offense in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, our offense started to look real sharp, and that's when we started to put our foot in the game. You know what I mean? Our offense just looked sharp. The way we were passing, the way they were moving, cutting, shooting threes, hitting J's, drawing fouls. They were doing it all, man, and I'm really just liking, just watching us this year so far. It's only been 4 games, but it just feels like I said this in earlier episodes, but it feels like I'm watching a real NBA team. You know what I mean? It feels like every game I watch, we have a chance to win the game. We have a chance to win. You know what I mean? That's all as a fan we could ask for. Just quality coaching, quality effort, the right rotations, putting the right players in the game at the right time. You know what I mean? Just basic stuff that we see other teams do, but for some reason, for the longest, the Wizards just could never do. I'm beginning to see a lot of that this season, and I'm really enjoying that. So I just wanted to mention that as well. And speaking of our crisp offense, what I liked throughout the game, we played an inside-out game. You know what I mean? Like, we got the ball in the post, especially to Montrez. You know what I mean? Got the ball to the post, and let that dictate what we did. You know what I mean? Pass out the post or score in the post. We had a lot of points in the paint tonight, and we also had a lot of points from the ball being passed out of the post to the perimeter, hitting threes, hitting J's, man. So I definitely like our offense, just like old school basketball. Not all those threes. Not to say that there's going to be nights where we're going to need to shoot a lot of threes, you know what I mean? Like the modern NBA. But it looked like that old school classic basketball that I really enjoy watching. And that's what we were playing tonight. So I really like that. And, you know, Bill, like I said, he didn't have a great game, especially scoring. However, he did a lot of other things that impacted the game, especially rebounding the ball. He had assists. He had steals out there. He was drawing fouls, and he made, like I said, at the end of the fourth, he made some big shots that helped us win the game, man. So, Bill, he did what he needed to do. You know what I mean? Like, not every night player's going to have their shot. But you got to contribute in other ways, and he definitely did that, man. Playing defense, giving effort, you know what I mean? And like I said, rebounding, man. So Bill played decent. He needs to shoot better, but I think over time that will happen. And hold on. All right, yeah. And the final thing I wanted to mention, man, was Dinwiddie, man. He started off slow, but in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter, he came up real big. And what I really liked from him tonight, especially towards the end of the game, was when he put Schroeder in the post and took him to the post and was just scoring in the post. His size is so evident out there, and I really, really like his game. It's not fancy, not flashy, you know what I mean? But it's very just solid, fundamentally sound, very smart decision making, and he's an asset. You know what I mean? He's calmed the team down at the point guard position. He scores when we need to score, and he passes when we need to pass. He hits big shots when we need big shots. And when Bill's off, we have another guard that can still put up 20, 25, 30 points on any given night. Dinwiddie was a great pickup for the Wizards tonight. I mean, this season, and tonight was a great reason why we picked him up. His size is just something that a lot of guards aren't going to be able to deal with throughout the season. So that gives me a lot of optimism. So yeah, those are all the things that I liked about the team tonight, man. The Wizards are playing excellent basketball, and for them to bounce back the way they did after a tough loss to the Nets earlier this week, it just shows that we're heading in the right direction. You know what I mean? The coaching is solid, no panic, next man up mentality. Just all the things that us as Wizards fans has been asking for is what's going on right now. And I hope they continue to do this. And I see no reason why they won't continue to do it, man. I just feel like the ghost of Wes Unseld is there with the team, with his son coaching. You know what I mean? I just feel like I didn't get to watch Wes Unseld play because I wasn't born. But just from the way people talk about him and just the stats and stuff like that, just a hard-nosed player, and it looks like that's what our team is, a hard-nosed team, man. So I'm really enjoying this season so far. Like, I mean, this is what we could ask for and more, you know what I mean? I just wanted a competitive basketball, and that's what we're getting, and then some, man. We're going to be a threat in the East. I'm not going to say we're a conference favorite or anything like that, but I feel like we have a very, very strong chance to make the playoffs in the East. And that's saying a lot because the East is much tougher than it has been in the past. You know what I mean? So I really like the direction this team is going. I really like the way they're playing. Next game, Atlanta. This is going to be a big game. To me, it's like a measuring stick in a way because Atlanta has been stepping up, playing very well. So I'm looking forward to that game, man. So anyway, man, that's all I got for y'all. If y'all enjoy the show, I would really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel, The Wizards Review. You know what I mean? Y'all can click the button on the YouTube page, or you can scan. You see the QR code next to the screen. You can just scan that, and it'll take you right to the page, and you can subscribe to the channel. Also, you can follow The Wizards Review on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can follow me as well, King Ade DMV, on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and all my NBA 2K22 players on the Xbox Series S or X. Find me on there. We get a game in or something like that, all right? So looking forward to the next game, man, against the Atlanta Hawks, man. Wizards get some rest. Y'all played well tonight. We're really loving what y'all doing. Just keep it up, all right? Anyway, people, have a good night. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.